It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. So now the Colts backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by the comeback player of the year in 2018. A Pro Bowl quarterback as well a season ago, Andrew Luck.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they get the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, here's Luck. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It's a 69-yard punt. 69 yards. Wow. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Peterman on 1st down. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded at the 2. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Haoli Kikaha. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Chester Rogers that time. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Ebron's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Luck. Ebron caught left side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Throwing again is Luck. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Now Luck. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Again, Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie in the NFL, in on the stop. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs pushing his way through. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This is taken at the 3. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. There's a quick shot to his tight end. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't secure.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Washington with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
So they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On second down, it's Mack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is taken around the 12. "35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Kendrick Bourne, his 19th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. From the gun on third down, Luck. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
And now the rookie's free. 30, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 21st touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2.
We got this.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down now, it's Mack. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll throw on first down with Peterman. He's going to fire one deep. And got his man complete. 39 yards there, a big one. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Is fielded at the 2. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Ryan Grant. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. And that's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On second down, it's Mack. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's head.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. This is taken at his 4. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Luck gives this one off to Mack, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. Second quarter now from Indianapolis. For the homestanding Colts in possession, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
It's a gain of 34. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
30 base. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
15 line. 15 line.
They'll run for it with Martin. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. And the throw there going to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, it's been a lot of...
And there he goes again. Into the end zone. Oakland Raiders touchdown.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Luck now to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is long. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
This is taken at the 23. And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 77-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, 2 teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Well, first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Now it's Peterman, Patrick Mahomes, with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Up comes Peterman and the offense 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
That's it, baby. We got work.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Manti Te'o marches in to sack him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Play action. It's locked. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. There he goes left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this. And we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out, coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I'll bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. That's taken on the 25. And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. An impressive 75-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there, a punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run with Mack, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. John Timu able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And taken right at the 35. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
50, plant. You ain't going nowhere. Let's go.
On the draw, here's Martin.
Run.
Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Martin. He'll have a first down inside the 10. That good for 19 and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to...
Yeah, that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Luck defers to Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is brought in at the 21. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
60 outlaw. Get it.
First down. Here's the run with Martin. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
3rd down. It's Doug Martin. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's loose again. And the Raiders are... in for 6. Touchdown. It's a punt return score of 70 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Back to the air, Luck on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On 1st down, Peterman. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime here in what is quick. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. That's fielded in the end zone. There goes Harris. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That kickoff return, 104 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Well, they say the kickoff can be one of the most exciting plays in football. It proves so there. 104 yards on the return. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They're not trying to put points on the board.
It's caught by Funchess. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard is going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go ahead and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wow. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They'll look to set up his blockers. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
60 or.
Play action. It's Peterman. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Now it's Peterman. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Peterman. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone.
Yeah, what is he at? Let's see. Game stats.
That's what it's all about.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there? Because I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is taken at about the 14. And there he goes again. Touchdown, Raiders.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's Locke. Rodgers brings it in. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. From the gun, here's Luck. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Good for a Colt first down. The former Lion Ebron there bringing it in from Andrew Luck. Luck now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Luck. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll fake it. Now Luck. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To the air again, Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15.
Ready.
On 1st down, Martin. Fake, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 14 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra. Weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Luck, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Fighting his way through contact. A tremendous return there, 39 yards.
Oh, you hurt.
Set. 10-2 stop. Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Let's go.
Throwing now, Peterman on first down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Dwayne Harris, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. They go play action with Peterman. He's going to fire one deep over the... And this is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
This fielded at the 2. And he loses the football a second time. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Doug Martin tying a career high with his 4th touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Doug Martin touchdown run. This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Domida Pecco racks up the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And taken right on the 30.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. They'll fake the handoff. Now Lott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 77-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Sometimes a punt is treated almost as a throwaway play. But when you've got a fearless return guy with extra moves, it can be an electrifying play for the team that returns it.
Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
No gain on the dump-off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Quick throw here to Hilton. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Hey, check.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lott. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
This will be fielded at the 17. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready? 50, plant.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check 99.
Leo.
Now Peterman on 1st down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They run. Martin. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin. 28 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Manti Te'o coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. He'll take it at the 42. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. 58 yards, the distance covered on the punt return as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. He completes this one to Mack. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 77-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Oh, the punt return, one of the most exciting plays in football.
And it comes from guys of all shapes, sizes, and forms, doesn't it? You never know what you're going to get in a punt returner, but you get a guy, number 1, who's fearless. Can make the first guy miss, and then once he's off to the races, I saw you standing up and watching that play just as I was, and so was everyone else in the stadium.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. And the catch made by Hilton. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And the punt return for the touchdown. It's always such an electric play. It energizes everybody, even us here in the booth.
It really does. And just think about the great punt returners that we've seen in our lifetime. The Deion Sanders of the world, who can change a game so quickly with one return, but who could ever forget my man, Dante Hall, the human joystick.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
They'll start on the ground with Mack. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, well, we'll see this.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's pulled in at the 32. And he's loose again. Into the end zone. Oakland Raiders, touchdown.
It's easy to see why many think the punt return is the single most exciting play in football. Fearless return guy, takes it, makes a couple of moves, picks up some blocks, and when he takes it the distance, everyone's on their feet cheering.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Brissett on 1st down. Got it complete to Rodgers. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Brissett now. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Michael O'Matawanui. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
Peterman's pass complete to number 86. Touchdown, Raiders.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. This time, the extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Oh, the offensive guy's going to hear about this later. The punt returner thinks he's the only offense his team needs. Kick it to him, he's going to take it back to the house.
This time, the extra point up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And that's off the mark, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game.
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit.
And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 71-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that score gives him a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. 1st down, Brissett. Pass incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Brissett, and that's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at the 20. And there he goes again. Touchdown, Raiders. And a touchdown there to help them expand the lead.
All you're looking for is as much separation between you and the other team as possible. They've got to feel good about what that touchdown gives them.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded at the 2.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Get ready!
A 1st down throw for Brissett. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And that will be incomplete. I don't know. seemed to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That punt returns 69 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Brissett to throw on first. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Recon, 132 fighter.
Here I come. Here I come.
After the interception, here's Peterman. Open man is born. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Pulled in at the 24. And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. An impressive punt return of 76 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
Let's see. Got 10 TDs. Damn, this nigga's bad.
Carlson on for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. Brissett. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Brissett sets to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Haole Kikaha has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, there was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right.
And the pressure gets to him again. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A 62-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Carlson now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Out of the gun, Brissett. And the Raiders have got him. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
To try again after the sack. Brissett trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Brissett. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. And that pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call...
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run. Back here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And marching back out there now, the Raiders defense gets ready. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think Dirk?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Haoli Kikaha. In there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. He returns the punt 61 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Haoli Kikaha, racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Brissett, and that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts coming out now.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Here's Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact... And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick-sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick-sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And oh my goodness, he loses it again.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. After the sack on first down, Brissett, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, Brissett. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick-6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. This fielded at the 2.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing, Brissett. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Star Latulilae. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Oakland, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Okay. On third week. Attends, something.
Honey, I dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. There's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank. I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm standing yell nets. Every flow is unmatched and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I better kill them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a thing with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. With state prop you looking bleak now. I was home to sleep designer sheets now. 30 different missions when I speak they listen. Cook